how to sell anything to anyone. For morons. Why, hello there. Today I'm going to show you how to sell anything to anyone. Kinda, sorta. The wisdom in this video isn't like you're just gonna learn some dark magical art where you can just walk up to people and sell them something against their will. No, not at all. In other words, it's not like you're gonna start seeing grandmas on the news saying, "Yes, I was at the grocery store and then some young man who said he's from Atlanta said that I should try his Airbnb mentorship. And I don't know why, but I said I think that's a great idea. He promised me we're gonna run up a bag, whatever that means." That's definitely not gonna happen, but what I am gonna show you is the boxes that need to be checked in order to actually properly sell something. If you can't check these boxes, guess what? You can't sell what you're trying to sell. So that's what we're gonna focus on today. So, let's go ahead. Let's get started, and let's talk about how to make some motherfucking money. Step 1. Get them to admit the problem. First things first, we need to get people to actually agree that they have a problem. Because here's the thing, a problem is only a problem if you agree and accept that it's a problem. It's like if I tell you you're fat, and you're like, "No, not, I'm just big-boned." The conversation ends there unless I have an open heart-to-heart discussion with you about why your addiction to dough-based products is making you look like dough. And even then, if you completely reject everything I say, there's no moving forward. It would be almost impossible to get you to whip out your credit card right then and there and buy my product, which is going to make you not look like the Pillsbury Doughboy. Is the problem real? Of course it's real, but you have achieved, drum roll please, denial. The worst customers in the fucking world, those in denial. People that are in denial, you know what they suck at? Whipping out their credit card and making a fucking decision to buy. If someone can't accept that they have a problem, they're not ready to buy. It's as simple as that. Now, here's the thing. There's only so many problems that people can have. If you really stop and think about it, there are only a specific set of problems. Now, what that number is, nobody knows. But it's a tremendously big number, a very large number, a great big number, a number so big you've never even heard of it. It's in the millions and billions and trillions and jillions and And while the number of total problems is massive, certain problems are more valuable than other problems, and a smart business's focus is to solve a valuable problem for people. Unless you do OnlyFans, then your business model is to fall victim to what the Gnostics called yava, which is basically the entity whose sole purpose is to distract everyone from the true God that is the spirit that dwelt inside of Jesus Christ. But even though our Father who art in heaven doesn't approve of simping or women selling pictures of their coochie for $25 a pop, OnlyFans does still solve a problem. It solves the problem of male loneliness and the inability to simply just be fucking alone and not need to talk to a woman to feel special or good about yourself. I mean, for goodness gracious, guys. And unfortunately, these chumps, they love swiping their credit card because it solves their main problem. They need to be distracted by something. But let's not focus too long on simps and whores. Let's focus on good business principles that help us make great amounts of money without selling our soul to demonic, off-road entities that are the combination of a lion and a snake. A good business focuses on solving a specific, ethical, and valuable problem, and as a result, people give them money. That's how capitalism works.
But in Soviet Russia, you no solve problem. Problem solve you.
It's important that if you want to make as much money as fucking possible, that you pick the right problems. A valuable problem pays you more than a problem that is not all that valuable. See, if you're picking little small bitch problems, guess what? You're going to get paid small little bitch sums of money.
Well, you want to get paid like the big boys over here? You want to make some fucking money, huh? You want to be something, kid, huh? You want to do something? You want to do something with your life? Or you got to solve some big boy fucking problems, you know?
But the problem is, even if you find a very valuable problem to solve, you need to find people who actually admit to having those problems.
So, just how do we go get someone to admit that they have a problem? It's so simple. You just explain their problems better than they could ever possibly explain it themselves. When they're able to see it, that you just explain their deepest existential crisis. Maybe it's even just a mild annoyance at the lack of a self-cleaning toaster. But when you're able to describe that sticky problem that they're in with more clarity and poetic depth than their inner monologue could ever muster, something very magical happens. They get a very large boner.
Wait a minute. No, 1 second. Wrong script. Oh, here we go. Something magical happens. Their eyes widen. Their pupils dilate like they've just stared into the abyss, and the abyss whispers back, "That'll be $19.99 plus shipping and handling, and we do offer Klarna payment plans." Because you see, when you articulate someone's problem better than their own subconscious ever could, they don't just think you know the problem, they think you know them personally. Which brings us to step 2. Holy shit, we're not even done with step 1 yet. Okay, step 2, the desired situation. We need to figure out exactly what does this person want in their life. See, if someone doesn't know what they want, it doesn't really make sense to sell them something, right? Think about it. If we're trying to sell people something and they don't even know what they want, well, how does it make any fucking sense for us to sell them something? Let's go back to our grandma in the grocery store example that we started off this video with so you can better understand this concept. Picture this. You need to close Granny on your Airbnb arbitrage offer, and Granny stops mid-car push and says,
Oh, I have all this money left over, and I don't know what to do with it, and I really need to invest it somewhere. Problem identified. Sales process initiated.
and you, being the sharp closer that you are, you say, "Oh, Grandma, so your problem is that you don't know how to invest your money?"
That's right. Admission of problem accepted.
So naturally, you ask, "Well, Grandma, what exactly is it that you want, though? What are you trying to do?" And she says,
Well, I'd like to be able to actually do something that doesn't require anything from me at all. And for some reason, I've switched accents several times. But anyways, I don't want to have to do anything whatsoever. I can't even leave the house, let alone walk around and collect rent from my Airbnb properties because I broke my back years ago. So I want a way to grow my money without me having to do anything, Sonny.
"Now look, bucko, if you proceed to sell her your Airbnb Arbitrage Accelerator program through whatever level of deception that you want to use, guess what? You're a slimy piece of shit because that's not what she said she wanted. But you still whipped out that Klarna payment plan like a goddamn demon before heading off to your reservation at Novikov in Miami with all your closer buddies. Oh, you son of a bitch." Well, let's say that's not what happens. Grandma says, "Hey,"
Hey, you know what? I've got a problem.
problem detected. And then she goes,
I need to invest some money, but I don't know how.
"Admission of problem accepted." And then you say, "Okay, Grandma lady, well, what is it that you want?" And then she says,
Oh, well, you know what? I really want to get something in real estate because I think the tax benefits are pretty fucking great.
desired situation detected, desired situation accepted. We have officially completed step 2. We are halfway there to closing the fuck out of this grandma. We make it look easy. Let's move on to step number 3, which is the gap. Oh yeah, the gap. I'm not talking about the store where every 39-year-old woman buys a pair of jeans that inexplicably transforms her lower half into a giant badunka. I'm talking about the gap between that sad, miserable state where your customer currently lives and the heavenly fantasy land that they want to reach. But it's really just because they believe that it's going to help fill their hearts. But spoiler alert, this is just the eternal trap of samsara. You know, the endless cycle of suffering where people chase after fleeting moments of happiness, thinking this is the thing that's finally going to make them complete. But instead, they end up right back where they started, bored, dissatisfied, and now $29.99 plus shipping and handling poorer. Consumerism is just samsara in a snazzy Target aisle. It's people buying things they don't need with money they don't have to impress people they don't even like, only to feel empty again a week later when the dopamine fades and they realize their Himalayan salt lamp didn't actually fix their marriage. The brilliance of consumerism, and by extension your job as a salesperson, is to use the never-ending cycle of samsara to your advantage. Don't promise to end samsara. Oh no, that would be terrible for business. Instead, offer a little relief, a momentary pause, a fleeting escape from the endless grind of existence, and the customer, poor soul that they are, buys into it almost every single fucking time. Your pitch isn't just a bridge across their problem gap, it's a damn mirage in the middle of their consumer's samsara desert. Oh, you're thirsty? Here, well, have this refreshing, life-changing solution. Sure, the water tastes great until it doesn't, and then they're back chasing the next thing, ready to swipe that motherfucking credit card again. But let's not focus on Hindu philosophy. Those fuckers are poor, and we're capitalists, so that gap is where the money is made, kiddos. This is the moment that you gotta let that old bitch know, hey, Grandma, you're right here flailing around in the shallow end of your own personal septic tank of confusion, and you want to be way over here sipping Mai Tais in a hammock while your rental properties pay for your life support, right? And she's gonna say,
Oh my goodness, yes.
and that's exactly when you tell her, well, Grandma, what do you think is holding you back? Ladies and gentlemen, we are now looking for her to admit her gap. Now, she's going to say one of two things. Either one, she's going to say she doesn't have a gap. And in that case, you need to call that lying bitch out right to her fucking face. But in the case that she does actually admit the gap, for instance, she says,
I think what's holding me back is that I just don't know the steps, dearie. I mean, I'm old. I have no clue how to actually invest in real estate. I mean, even though Airbnb arbitrage maybe perhaps is going to be something a little bit illegal in breaking lease terms, but that's not really here nor there. I'm just a little stupid and confused old woman.
gap detected, admission of gap accepted. Your job is not to just show them the gap, but to whip out a metaphorical tape measure and let them marvel at just how gaping their hole is. Wait, that sounded really weird. Scratch that. Let's just say you're there to highlight the Grand Canyon of bullshit they need to leap over. Because if they don't see how massive this gap is, if they don't see how friggin' inconvenient it is to cross this gap, your potential buyer will think they can just hop, skip, and a step across their problems. And if that were the case, why on earth would they pay your sorry ass to help them? They didn't know that the journey from I have a problem to I'm living the dream involves them dragging their metaphorical balls through 1,000 miles of glass. Ooh, ow, no, they don't want that. You know what they do want, though?
Sex. No, really. Look, okay, guys, breaking character here for a moment. I've produced over $40 million for my clients, selling everything from Amazon FBA coaching programs to face moisturizer for older women that are aging faster than spoiled milk. And you know what the real promised land is that everyone is trying to get to? Sex, respect, power, happiness, fulfillment, connection, understanding. We package these things up into physical products and digital products and services and fucking whatnot. But the real gap for everyone is that they don't know how to get what they want, or they just can't do it themselves. Otherwise, they would have it. And the thing is, they're looking for those different things: sex, respect, power, happiness, fulfillment, connection, understanding through the form of different products. They may know how to do what they need to do, but even then, the question is, why haven't they done it yet? Probably because they understand the how, but they don't understand the what. And usually what we sell is the what. In other words, if you're stuck on the how but don't know the what, you're just stuck in an intellectual circle jerk with the 6 voices in your head. Anyways, where the hell are we? Step 3. Oh yeah, anywho, look, now that they can see the gap between where they are and where they want to go, guess who's conveniently holding the solution like a Girl Scout outside of a weed dispensary holding a box of Thin Mints? That's right, you. Once you've got the gap established, recognized, and fully spelled out, we move on to step 4. Urgency. Let's say you ask this grandma from the long overdrawn-out example that we've been using this entire video, "Hey, Grandma, when were you thinking of getting started in real estate?" And Grandma says,
I don't think that it's the right time, 'cause my husband just died yesterday.
Oof, okay, well, first off, R.I.P., Grandpa. But here's the thing, at this point, you know Grandma has no urgency. None. Zip. Zilch. Nada. Because, let's face it, Grandma's got other things on her mind, like funeral arrangements and the weird casserole her neighbor Cheryl keeps dropping off, and figuring out who gets Grandpa's strange interest in World War II memorabilia. You can probably guess which country Grandpa liked to collect. Hint, it's not the good guys. Okay, Grandpa, always reading those books of yours. Anyways, when someone has no urgency, guess what? You can't close them. They'll politely nod, thank you for your time, then they're gonna go right back to wasting everyone's fucking time, including their own. And that's a true fact right there. There's no fire underneath their feet. There's no clock ticking. Some people love living their life like a passive bitch. No, oh crap, I gotta act now or I'm gonna miss out. Without urgency, they're just passengers on the procrastination train barreling toward a station called Neverland. But let's flip the script. What if instead Grandma says,
I've been waiting to do this since I was 40 years old, but my husband, that son of a bitch, I'm so glad that he died. He's been stopping me from doing real estate for years. It's waiting my time to shine, and while I build my OnlyFans business and grow my arbitrage real estate portfolio.
And just like that, bing, bang, boom, we've checked all the boxes. We now have permission to sell Grandma some shit. So we're going to say, Grandma, you know what? Why don't you just go ahead and get started by signing right here on this contract with 30 stipulations to take us up on our money-back guarantee. And will we wanting to use Klarna or Afterpay to finance your $9,800 deposit to get started? And also, could you please hurry up because I have reservations at Novikov at 7 p.m. and I really don't want to be late. And just like that, Grandma's a fucking customer. So, if you think about it, admission to a real problem, a desired situation, a gap, and urgency are all we need to be able to properly sell something to someone. If they have those 4 things, guess what? You can pretty much sell anything to anyone. Kinda, sorta. So, if you want to sell more products and more things, all you need to do is really get better at those 4 areas. The better you are able to explain people's problems, the better you're able to understand their desired situations, the better you are at showing them the Grand Canyon size of fucking bullshit between their sad, sorry existence and the sunlit holy land of their dreams, and the better you are at making them feel like the clock is ticking faster than the plot twist in a Christopher Nolan movie, the better you are at selling anything to anyone. So, Go forth now, you magnificent bastards. Sell with integrity, with flair, and with the same kind of reckless enthusiasm that make even Grandma proud of your hustle. And when you're done, when you've closed your deals and made it rain Klarna installments, don't forget to order that Wagyu steak and raise a glass to the art, the science, the absolute beauty of selling. Because at the end of the day, you didn't just sell a product, you sold a dream. You sold a transformation. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. America is built on sales. America is built on the salespeople who actually sell products, regardless of how scummy and slimy and some of them, are kind of fucking fuckboys, but whatever. Regardless of all that, you, my dear capitalist cowboy, you got paid. That's the game. You played it well. Maybe save me a seat at Novikov and I'll see you there sometime. Until next time, keep closing, keep dreaming, and remember, everything's negotiable, except for the fact that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. Toodles.